Hello and welcome to Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis. I'm Chris, and I'm here again, as always, with my co-host Chris.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing? Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Finally here.
Yes.
We've waited for this day.
I know.
Because we have something awesome happening today. We actually have two special guests for you today. Not just one, and our first male guest. So,
yes. It's a big deal, big day.
You must be really special or have an awesome wife.
Yes.
To
or both.
be able
Could be
to
two
be
things.
here on Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis being our first male guest. So we have Kenny and Kelly. You might know them from Instagram from It's Kenny and Kelly. Kenny is a former corporate executive and small business owner, and Kelly is a former news anchor.
Ooh.
And fun fact about her is her mom is one still remaining and living Miss America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of the oldest.
Very
yes.
interesting,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're here to talk to us about empty nest life and what it is like to, try not to overparent adult children. So welcome, Kenny and Kelly.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
cheers.
Well, first,
Oh.
cheers. Happy
Cheers
Cinco de
to
Mayo.
Cheers to us on Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. What kind of margaritas are you having?
Oh, you're going to laugh. They're like our own version of a skinny margarita.
Ooh.
It's tequila and water.
Oh.
Well, we went Cutwater because that's what we had.
Oh,
and
there you
my
go.
There
husband
you go.
said they're 12% alcohol.
Yeah. So we may not be, we could still be slurring our words by the end of this episode.
And it's dangerously good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks for having us. We're very excited to be with you guys.
Yes.
We are so happy to have you.
And it's so nice to have you. And the timing is perfect and could not be more relevant to me because my nest will truly be empty this summer. My baby is doing a summer internship in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
So both of my kids are gone. My nest is empty. And I totally need you guys today and need to hear your words of wisdom about how to parent the adult children and survive an empty nest. So if you can share your story, we would love to hear it.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll let you start.
Just a little bit. We've been married for 10 years. And, we've got 6 kids between the two of us. We are kind of like the Brady Bunch, I guess. Yeah, very impressive.
Youngest is 21 and the oldest is 30. So we always joke that we have 6 kids, 1 in college, 5 off the payroll.
Ooh.
And 2 grandbabies. So
Nice.
that's kind of where we are.
And the last one's coming off the payroll in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Nice.
So
There you
graduate
go.
from college.
Congrats.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Are
So,
they ever
yes.
really off, though?
No.
No. No.
Yeah.
No, they're not. But they're spread all over the country. And, it's been quite an interesting thing. When we got married, we only had 4 still in the house.
Yes.
Three still in the house full time. So that made it better, having just that. So a lot easier, for sure.
Okay, yeah. And where are the grandbabies?
So 1 in Seattle and 1 just up the road in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are in Missouri.
We
Yes.
are in Missouri. We live on Table Rock Lake.
Not far from Branson.
Not far
Missouri.
from Branson,
I mean,
Missouri.
I don't know if they're sending gifts, but
We live
And
right
then
on
how
the
did
lake.
you get started with your online social media presence about helping our fellow empty nesters?
Well, it's kind of interesting. We started getting into affiliate marketing, and we would start posting things about just, being empty nesters, kind of rediscovering this new chapter. And we started putting things out about parenting adult children. And that really resonated with people, and the responses and the views that we got, we were really kind of like, oh wow, we're on to something. So what started out going one direction, we've pivoted and changed and been focusing a lot about, how do you have respectable, wonderful relationships with your children as they're adulting and flying the nest, because it changes the dynamic of the parent-child relationship when they get into their 20s and
It
30s.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had some don't want to say issues, but we've had some instances where we've been estranged from some of our kids, and that's been really difficult.
Yeah,
Very difficult.
Yeah.
But we've we've worked through a lot of that, and it's honestly it's been great with some.
Well,
of them.
one of your posts to my youngest daughter, who's 25, and I was like, I got this advice from people that we're going to have on the show. And as I was reading it, she goes, "You're okay at that. You got that. No, you don't do that." Like, I'm like, all right, I'm a work in progress. I'm trying. Okay. But, it is hard. I mean, it is definitely a give and take. But what was like the biggest mistake you think you made with your adult kids that you could share with us that maybe can help us along the way?
Oh gosh, so many of them.
And we're not perfect.
You want to take a
We have
sip?
not
I'm going to
gotten
say,
there.
should we take our margarita?
yeah.
That might be the way to go.
And I'll be honest, so many of the mistakes made happened when they were young kids that were never addressed or dealt with in the past when they were young kids. So those mistakes just compound themselves when they become adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think also that you think just because they're another year older and they're out of the house, we tend to still treat our children like children. And when you really start thinking, okay, they are becoming their own person, their own values, their own belief system, which may not align with ours, but I think once you learn that they are trying to figure it out just as much in the world as we are as well. I think the biggest mistake we all make as parents is giving unwanted advice, right?
I think that was one of the best things I heard you say was that when you're always giving them advice, you're basically telling them that we don't trust you to make decisions on your own. Exactly. And I never looked at it that way. So definitely thank you, because that definitely helped me with my older daughter who had gotten engaged and getting married and starting their own traditions, which were not what we did. It was hard.
Right. Right. It is hard. I think, and we've gotten to the point now where when they call us and we ask, do you want to vent or do you want our advice? And that usually kind of sets the stage, right?
That's been a game changer, actually. In fact, now some of the kids will, even when they do call, they will say, I'm just calling to vent. I just need to get this off my chest. I don't want your advice. I just want you to listen. And then usually they do end up getting a little bit of advice anyway. But no, I think it just sets the tone of the conversation. If you can say that to your children, say, hey, do you just need a vent, or do you want some feedback? Do you want some advice? I think the other big thing to develop a really great conversation with children is just ask a lot of questions. Instead of having them talk and then give them advice, just ask more questions about what they're thinking. Well, tell me why you think that, or have you thought about this scenario? And I think when you have those conversations with them in that regard, they start trusting us as parents again. They look at us more as not parents, but as more like as individual people and sounding boards. Does that make sense?
Well, and
Yeah.
they also chose you to vent to, so I think that says a lot. And that would be a good feeling.
We always kind of say that, when the hits the fan,
Yeah.
Who do they call?
they call us.
Which is
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, which is good, which is what you want.
It's been a journey, you realize if you don't resolve there's a lot of unresolved issues raising children that we aren't aware of, and it just compounds it the older they get. So we've had to, in certain instances, have to go back and take a real hard look at ourselves and how we parented our kids and acknowledge the failures. And we all have them. And that's made a difference in some of the relationships that have been strained that are now really healing. And it's been probably, had we not gone through and looked at ourselves and addressed all of that, they would not be healing today.
That's really good. And when you talk about the questions, I laugh because a lot of times my daughter will call and she'll say, I have something to tell you. Hold all your questions till the end. So that she wants to tell me, and then I can ask my questions. But she has to say that to me first, because she knows that I'll be like,
You're ready to.
Because you have so much
I'll be like,
yeah.
peppering her questions.
That's true.
So, but when did you realize that it would be okay and that you did well with your parenting? to kind of go into what you just talked about.
I think now we recognize that they do call us. They do call us for guidance. And it's like when they start calling about, okay, hey, I've got a question about finances or my job, or it's like they want our input. Or when they will say, yeah, you know what, you told me not to do that, and I did it, and now I wish I hadn't. And you're kind of like, okay, told you so. But like they're willing to admit that, and that's
big.
Yeah, that's huge, right? And it's like, and then you don't gloat about it. You just say, yeah, you're right. But I think the other thing too is like just letting our kids fail and let them learn something through failure. It's it's so hard. It is. But sometimes, the rug has to be pulled out from under them so that they learn to survive. When they fly the nest, they're going to fall on the ground every once in a while. We can be there to support them and be their sounding board or their safe space to come to. But there's no growth without challenges.
That's very true. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the cell phone is one of the greatest inventions in history and one of the worst inventions in history.
Many parents say that right now, but I agree, because then we can talk to them all the time. They'll send us a text, and we hang on that every little letter.
Yes, for sure.
So, like, what does successful parenting look like to you now? I mean, I feel like you just kind of described that, but how does it affect your life? Like, and so you kind of went into what your successful parenting looks like. If there's something more, please add. But how's your life changed from feeling like, hey, we've made this adjustment, and what's it meant for you?
I think from my perspective, peace. Kind of at peace with some things. But part of that has been the growth with relationships that weren't where we wanted them to be. Doing a lot of internal soul searching and acknowledging our failures. It's giving them peace, and it's also giving us peace to not feel guilty about living this next chapter of our lives and having the fun that we want to have together while still being in their lives and being a big part of it, but not letting them come to us as opposed to us dictating to them or pushing to them.
We had to recognize that we had to move forward in our lives as well. Sometimes I think we heard this feedback from a lot of people that I'm relying on my children for my happiness. And they're actually, and that the kids almost feel like they become the counselor or the caregiver to their parents, and where the kids want their parents to find their joy and happiness and their own thing and not be so absorbed in their children's lives.
It's a good point, because it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is, and we see that being in a second marriage as such, or in another marriage, there's struggles they have with their other parents, right? And from my perspective, if I can give them peace with one parent, then I've done my best, and that gives me peace too. I can't control the relationship with their other parent. I can be there as a sounding board, but at least if I can grant them peace and have an open dialogue and communication, and they're not afraid to share things with me or whatever. But it's been a journey. I mean, I went through a lot of counseling after my last marriage, a lot. But I had a great counselor. It was great. And, and particularly in an instance where there was some estrangement, all I could do was focus on fixing myself and praying and hoping that when the opportunity came back, that I would be in a position to create a safe space, if you will, for somebody to communicate their concerns and struggles and the issues. And we cause hurt and we don't even realize it. Yeah. Kids see everything. Mm-hmm. They pick up on everything. And so
I remember telling my daughter, Kenny, that the same thing, like her going through some things, and the same things with me and where I am in my life. And I remember saying to her, I'm like, I know that this is hard for you to see, but I'm like, I love you more than anything in this world, and everything I have done has been for you. Like, nothing has ever been done with a malicious heart. Nothing has ever been done with me ever wanting to hurt you. Have I made mistakes? Obviously, yes, I have. If you're feeling that way, but please know that I will be the lifetime president of your fan club, and I will never to try and get that. But I'm a human being, and I've made mistakes, and whatever they are, like, I'm so sorry for them. But I think it is that whole thing of letting them see you as like an individual or a person with, like,
I think
that has faults and work on them and make them better.
Your heart's always in the right place.
Yeah,
I think there's a point with your children where they start seeing you as a human being and not as mom and dad. There's this belief that mom and dad are perfect. They don't make any mistakes. And then they get to in their 20s and they start seeing us as
and then
we make a
human
lot of
beings. Hey, we screw up too, right?
Yeah.
But give us grace as well.
Yeah.
And the big thing, I think, is just fostering communication and talking. I really struggled that with my children, telling them how proud I was. I wasn't good at verbalizing to them that, hey, I'm really proud of you. I love you. I was, but I'm just not that person to to share what I was feeling. And so I really worked on making sure that I tell them, not just in text messages, but in phone calls. I think they need to hear it from our voices and not just in a text message too.
You're like, I taught you to use a fork.
Right?
Yeah. What else do I have to do?
Exactly. It's funny. One thing that it's been a journey for me particularly, and I've kind of drug Kelly into it, and I don't know. She's kind of lived. Anyhow, one thing that I think that's important for people to keep in mind, at least on my journey, and you start picking up stuff. And believe it or not, there's a line from the latest Eddie Murphy Beverly Hills Cop movie, Axel F, that came out in like 2024. And I remember watching that movie, and I'd gone through a lot of therapy and just trying to, all I can control is me. That's why I did it. And all the other stuff, y'all got to figure yours out. I'm going to figure mine out. And there was a line that came out that said, it was his daughter, and she was probably mid-30s or so, and she looked at him, and they had been estranged, and she said, the parent is always the parent. I don't care if you're 40 or 60 or 80, you are always the parent. Act like it. And I was like, oh,
that's pressure.
That's very true, because the child always looks at you as the parent, even if they're 40 years old.
That's really
and that
good.
really struck a nerve with me. So, anyhow.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy advice.
Eddie Murphy advice. We're showing our age.
We've watched it.
Okay, so what are some of the things your kids still rely on you for now that make you laugh?
Oh, I'll give you I have one child that it's like, have you not heard of Google? Like, I'm Google to her. Today it was, hey, is there a Dramamine that you can take that's not chewable? And I went, gee, I don't know. Have you Googled it yet? And she said, well, no, I'm asking you first. So at least she still thinks I have all the answers. But yeah, just little things like that. Yeah.
Is it the youngest that does that? Because my youngest, I'm actually Google too.
My middle child.
My middle
child.
I don't
my
have
youngest
a middle,
girl.
that's why.
Yeah.
I think she does it just to talk to her and reach out to her.
Which I don't mind.
Which
Yeah.
she
Just
doesn't
right,
mind.
you don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think
we get a lot of financial questions, which
Okay.
which just shows that they're growing, and they'll call and inquire about different things or ask for stuff. Some of it I'm like, yeah, you probably need to do this on your own. You're married now. I don't need to do your taxes. Okay? So some things you just have to start putting some boundaries up and making them step up. But, every kid's different. And we parented every kid differently based upon what we knew and where we were at that stage in our lives. That's been something we've had to realize, is that, okay, one child may have experienced this as a kid, another child's going, you're nuts. They were great. It was awesome, right? But they had two very different experiences just because we're all at different places, sometimes in a 2 to 3, 4, 5 year gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perception is an amazing thing. So What do your kids think about the fact that you give out parenting advice?
Ooh, that's a good one. I will say my oldest daughter, the one that we've had our issues, my issues. They weren't hers, so we're clear. We started putting something out, and one of the first feedback, and that one went viral, was, "Wow, this is beautiful." Something along those lines. That you guys are doing good stuff, and you nailed it. And to her, it was, you guys are really taking a different approach, if you will, and you're acknowledging and recognizing we have to handle things differently.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. It was great. I was like, oh my gosh, she even put that, she even commented. I was like, wow, okay, we're on the right path.
She said something like, you've put the work in. We're trying to be better versions of ourselves. Just because we're in our 50s, just because we're in our 50s doesn't mean we can't learn more, we can't do better. We both strive to be the best versions of ourselves. There's always room for improvement and growth. We've also realized we don't have all the answers. So I think when you can humble yourself and say, wow, I can learn from my children. We can learn a lot from our kids.
And we do.
We learn a lot from our children.
We do.
Just, and think about this. Our children are dealing with issues that are so different from when we grew up, right? And that instinct, and because there is constant connection and because of phones and messaging, it's different. And we have to recognize the way they grew up was very different than we're Gen Xers. We were the latchkey kids. So just recognizing that they are experiencing things we never imagined. Again, just being open to learning how they're growing up in this age. We've
made a concerted effort to meet them where they are. Instead of telling them, you got to meet me where we are. And this is,
And you're right.
So, yeah, that's probably been the biggest thing, But the good thing is they've shown us grace. And that's really important.
Kenny, do you at least tell them, the 80s music was much better?
I don't have to. They know it.
Oh, good. Okay.
You raised them well.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
I feel like before we started, we should have been every time we say the word kids or children, we'd have to drink.
That's right.
Great idea.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
We would need refills by now, but...
Okay, so what's something about this stage of life that people completely get wrong?
Well, that's a great question.
Everybody else.
You can still have fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, obviously we all have stuff we bring to this point in our life, but you can truly be, and we've tried to take that approach, and I've asked Kelly this a lot of times, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do now? Mm-hmm. Yes, we have all this. We have kids. You got financial stuff. You've got jobs. But what do you really want to be? What do you want to do? Do you want to leave your job? Do you want to do this? Do you want to start something else? Where do you want to move? Because you really can write a brand new chapter. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Mm-hmm. But that's probably the biggest thing. We've tried to take that approach is, what do we want to do?
I love that. For me, it's learning something new. New technology, learning about social media, and especially I think a lot of people our age don't really realize how involved this can be when you get into social media. As you guys know, learning how to podcast, you're learning a brand new skill set, and that's been, I think, good for us mentally. Working together has been fun. I don't know that every couple can work together. We work pretty well together. We have very different skill sets and strengths. I'm the creative woo-woo, and he's the nuts and bolts analytical. So it's a perfect team, actually.
But we've literally divided up the work. You stay in your lane, and I will stay in mine.
Yeah. And then it all comes together with a really fabulous...
And it's starting to come together. And like we said early on, to me, it's at this point in my life, when we started getting all the feedback from people and you start realizing so many people are going through the shit right now. Mm-hmm. And it kind of broke my heart.
Us
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know, that there's a lot, and that kind of is what, as she said, and I don't want to belabor it, but it kind of shifted our focus. Now we're still going to be doing the other stuff as well, but it's like, I finally felt good, like maybe I could give something back to people, because you get these, hey, I needed to hear that today. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I did something good. I don't know.
That's really nice.
Because I mean, we've talked about like the empty nest, and you know, I remember when my youngest was getting ready to leave, and I was thinking, oh my God, I don't think my heart will recover. Like I'll just be completely heartbroken.
It won't.
And then, I mean, you do. Like I mean, I miss them terribly, but you still have this like life to live.
Yep.
And then
Yes.
different things that now you don't have things that you don't have to worry about, and you don't just go away or
You don't stop
disappear. I
living.
feel like it really is kind of like a, I don't know, like you kind of
It's
come
a
in,
new
you
chapter.
kind of learn to be who you were meant to be.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
grieving process when the kids leave, you know? I mean,
Yes.
and it will hit you at odd times or, so, and I think you just appreciate the time that you have together and you look forward to the next time you're together. But then also, Mom, give yourself some grace like, hey, I've raised a child that's willing to go to Alaska. How freaking
right.
cool is that, right?
How brave.
And I did
How
tell her that. I said,
wonderful.
I'm so proud of you. I go, I really thought I'd have one more summer with you. Like, it hit me. And when we were getting ready, the same thing for you to come on, I was like, oh, this is really appropriate because this is my first summer with no kids. My
Wow.
oldest, he's in Virginia. And I even said, and he was really good because he's like, different is just different. Different
it's
isn't
just
bad.
different.
And I always keep telling myself that. I'm like, different is just different. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's gonna be a pilot, so like she's even like super badass.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's
Awesome.
awesome. That is
That's
awesome.
awesome. I was
Very
going to say, what have you learned in this stage as far as what you
well,
look
I learned it all
forward
from
to?
you.
Hardly.
Kenny and Kelly said, so that's what
That's
we're going
what-
to do.
yeah.
Don't listen to us.
Kenny and Kelly said that I should learn to keep my opinions to myself. And I'm
How's that
working on it.
working?
No, I've been. Well, it kind of leads into my next question for you. How has empty nest changed your relationship? Because I know with my husband and I, it changed our relationship. Like we went through this I mean, who are you? And we did go out on dates still, but it was still, every conversation was still about the kids.
Right.
It wasn't about us. It wasn't about what are you experiencing in your life. So I know that's how my relationship changed. Has your relationship changed since you became empty nesters, and where are you? How were you able to get to that next point?
I think we were preparing for it to a degree. We started as they were starting to leave the house, like we would go hike together. We tried to find things that we could do together. Whether, fortunately, I'm married to somebody who loves football. That's awesome.
Nice.
Okay. She loves to hike. We had a lot in common. And then finding those interests that we started to do as they were transitioning out of the house. And because you're right, you can get into this hole where all you do is talk about the kids. And they want you to be happy because then you're not going to be a pain in their butt. They want you to be doing other things, right? So they're not worried about you. And we see it kind of on the other end of the spectrum with their other parents who haven't found these things to do. And that creates stress for the children. They're not worried about us. We have each other. And, it's finding those things outside of the family that keeps you active, keeps your brain fresh, that you can do together. And it's kind of a conversation. We literally put together a whiteboard and wrote down all the things we wanted. This was before the kids
No,
left.
I love it.
All the things we wanted, what we pictured our empty nest retirement life to look like. Maybe we're doing 4 of them. I don't know. There's a lot we're not. But we compared from my perspective to her perspective. And then where do we have the overlap? And then we started doing those things.
Hopefully you just go with what Kelly says.
I've learned a lot.
Smart man.
Smart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelly, how did it change for you?
Oh gosh, that not being needed, right? Or feeling like you're not needed as much because they move on. And, like sometimes I'll send stuff to them I have a habit, I'll send like Facebook memories, right? And I send it to them and I get like crickets from them, right? But I'm just like, I want them to know that I'm thinking about them, or, I want to show them how silly and goofy they looked 15 years ago, and, and how they've blossomed and changed. But there's just this feeling of, gosh, am I needed? But I'm just needed in a different way. Mm-hmm. The relationships change more to, I think, a friendship and respect for one another. My children are all very, very different, as are his, and I love them all for such different reasons. But I really like my kids too. And I think when you can say, I really like my children,
yes,
that's a parenting win.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because there are times where you went through, you're like, I love you, but I like who you're showing me right now.
Right,
yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so was there ever a moment when you thought, wait, who are we now?
Oh, yeah, every day. Seriously, we start down a path and then we go this way and then we go back this way and then we go that way. And we are still trying to figure it out. I mean, we even talk about, we live on a lake, have a boat 2 minutes away. You would think we're living in the perfect place, but there's times we're like, yeah, maybe we want to do something else. It just, I don't know.
It's those new experiences.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's something that post empty nest, I'm like, I want to do, and that was like kind of on our whiteboard, but it was on our phone, is to try a new experience, like each week. And we haven't done it. And I'm like, just something, either go to a different place to go for a hike, just go to a different restaurant, just a new experience.
Love that. Yes.
It's good for our brains too. It rewires our brains. Like there's scientific data that supports that having a new experience, having a shared experience rewires the brain. You start seeing things different. I saw something on social media that was like the rule of 777. Every 7 days do one new thing together. Every 7 weeks, get away for a day. And then every 7 months, get away for a 4 or 5 day vacation. So every 7 days, weeks, and then months, do something with your partner that's new and different.
I like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we first moved down here, we live in a tourist town, and I
us too.
We do too.
Yeah. Do you?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's
we're at
like,
the beach.
You're at the beach.
Okay.
And we're at the lake. And my grandparents had a place on the lake, so I grew up here and spent a lot of summers here. And we've lived, before we moved down here, we lived 45 minutes away. But we don't do the tourist stuff. We go on the lake.
Yeah.
So we kind of said, we're going to do a touristy thing every month. And that worked out really well until summer came and the tourists showed up.
Yes.
Yep. We totally get that. The lines, the wait.
What do you mean? It's a 2-hour wait for putt-putt.
Not doing
We're not
that.
going.
I'll do it in October.
Let's go.
It's the same exact thing. We wait until the same thing. They call it local summer. Wait until all the
September
summer people are gone, and then you can enjoy all the places that's not as crowded.
Yeah, the VFW has like this big party the Tuesday after Labor Day, after everybody's gone.
Like
Oh,
everybody
God. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if your kids were to listen to this, what would you want them to know about you in this stage of your life?
that we're happy. But they are still such an important part. They're such an important part of our lives, but we're really happy where we are in life. And I think if they know that we're happy, then they're good too. We don't want to be a source of stress in their lives. We try to be their safe space. So I think that would be it for me.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
I think just that we're committed to letting them grow and continuing to grow ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that we can
Kenny,
be there for them.
You did not disappoint as the first male guest, I have to tell you.
I set the bar, right? It's like my
know,
son-in-law.
you
He
set
set
the
the
bar
bar way
high.
up here.
I mean, my husband's the equipment guy, but you did a good job. That was really, really
Well, thank you.
very kind of an impactful kind of statement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's just, I don't know, I've always, you're either growing or you're dying. And I look back on my career and, I was driven by corporate world, making money, blah, blah, blah. None of it mattered, and at this point I want to focus on what's most important, and that's those that we love and helping them out.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so is there anything that we missed that you'd like our listeners to know?
I guess and I don't know if we talked about it, this is just my perspective. We've seen a lot of people that are struggling. Look internally first. Don't get, oh, my kid's not talking to me, or I can't talk to my kid. Look at yourself first. And if be honest, and realize how you've parented your child. Realize that you've made a lot of mistakes. Own them. And put yourself in a position where, let's say, for instance, you are estranged or something's going on, or they're just mad at you or whatever, that you can be better for them when they are ready for it. And a lot of times they have to be ready for it most of the time.
Yeah.
That's really good advice.
So,
And I hope my
good.
brother listens to it.
I hope my brother does too.
But it was really good.
And where can our listeners find you?
Go ahead.
Okay. On Instagram, our whatever profiles, it's Kenny N. Kelly, not Kenny and Kelly, Kenny N. Kelly. And then on Facebook, it's Kenny N. Kelly.
Okay.
Not it's Kenny and Kelly. Kenny N. Kelly. Sorry, that was weird.
We're the same way. Like our email is Chris and
And Chris.
Like the letter N, just like your
Yeah.
Kenny and Kelly.
That's why we
So-
loved you guys. I'm like, look at this. This is awesome.
Yeah. Just one letter. That's all we needed
right.
in common.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
So,
we noticed you do a lot of promoting of products and stuff like that. How's that going?
Good.
Yeah.
It's kind of not the focus of what we do. It's fun. It's I love the creativity of creating reels, and luckily he's a really good sport about it, and he gets some. It's so funny when we started doing reels. He did not like being in front of the camera. And I've learned that he's actually a natural ham.
He did very well. Bringing you the wine. All I know is that you got stuck doing the vacuuming. You guys could have reversed that.
I don't know. It's therapeutic for me. It's the craziest thing. What did you call it? We call it rage cleaning.
Rage cleaning.
Rage
Like,
cleaner. I'm a huge rage cleaner.
Are
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hated it. I
very
could
effective.
not get in front of the camera for anything. And, she's been on the news. It's second nature to her. But I said, you're either growing or you're dying, right? And I'm like, I'm just going to step out there and do it. I only have like 3 friends in the whole world anyhow, so I don't really care what anybody else thinks of me. And we had a girl that kind of helped us get in when we were starting the affiliates. And she said, look, your friends are not your friends. And you will figure that out. And she's been incredibly successful with it.
your friends are not your audience
Right.
necessarily. Like, don't try to appeal to your friends. Just be true to yourselves, and you will find your community. And that's been a beautiful part of this, is finding the community of people out there.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
and we
Cheers.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yay.
very much.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Here's yours.
Cheers.
Here's mine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Yum.
And cheers to new friendships.
Yes.
And if I can just say something about that too, real quick, finding new friends at this stage of life, it's a challenge. Especially since we moved, we still have our friend group back 45 minutes, but even that, that proximity thing, you have to find your people. And that can be difficult at this stage in life, is finding new connections and friends. And, that's been kind of not a challenge, but that it's just not easy. You have to put yourself out there.
And you're also in a tourist town, same
Yes.
as us.
100%.
I mean, we got lucky, 2023, a gym opened up, and that has become a huge source of our friendships.
it's a community.
It is a community. The gym is an absolute community. Everybody's very accepting. But before that, I mean, we had the Elks.
And it's
Yeah, we are
it's
out.
BFW.
stuff out there. I remember going up to people and be like, would you like to be in my book club? Like I would, like, and I'm like, would you be in my book club? Like I was just asking people, but the same thing. Then that book club has grown, and they're all like just lovely, lovely people, and you just got to meet different people through there.
Yeah, she really put herself out there. She was really good.
Good for you.
I did 2 different book clubs.
She did. Yeah, you were doing everything. But yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. Like at this age, especially, it is when you move to a new spot, it is hard, and you do hope that someone else is going through it too, and you can find each other that way.
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
But if you ever come to New Jersey,
you got friends.
We're definitely drinking margaritas.
Yeah,
we're definitely.
We'll come visit you at the lake.
Yeah, you can.
Perfect.
We'll
Bring the cutwater margaritas.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have a boat that you use on the lake?
We do. 2 minutes from the
so
house.
we got a boat here.
Yep.
You and the husbands can talk boats.
Well, we just need to make it work. We just need to schedule it. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep.
We're always open to visitors.
We are.
This is the Jersey Shore. You know, it's a very popular
Love it.
place.
It'd be fun.
Though I'd love to go to Missouri. I think the only time I was in Missouri was for a gymnastics meet. So,
But you'd want to come here, Kelly, because we're right near Atlantic City, where your mother would have been when she was crowned Miss America.
right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can
That's
walk
where
the
she had a
boardwalk
big
like
crown.
she
Your
walked,
mom did.
borrow her crown. Does she still have her crown?
She
Oh,
does.
she wears it every day.
You borrow the crown. You can put your toes in the water like she had to do the day after the pageant and everything.
Exactly. Wow. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I think we were on to something. Good job.
Yes.
That was very good.
You know what? We'll bring her with us.
No.
Absolutely. Oh, that would be really good. Oh no, our kids are going to say that about us one day. Bring your mom to the
We
podcast.
tease her. We say, "Mom, that crown has not left your head. You still wear it every single day." Yes. So
That's
wonderful.
wonderful.
She's a
That
pretty
is
neat
really
lady.
cute.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Yes.
for
Thank
spending
you.
time with us. Thank you for working through our technical issues. We did great.
Your words of wisdom.
Yes, lots of wisdom, lots learned today. And it makes, I feel so much more supported just talking to you. I'm like,
Oh wow.
Kenny and Kelly, they get it. They've lived it. And I really trust and value what you say. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a lot of
And-
pressure, I know. Sorry.
and thank you for supporting what we do. I feel like the more we can support one another, whether it's through these types of endeavors or just as parents, as human beings, it's good for everybody.
It really is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so for our listeners, please share, like, subscribe, and download. You're going to want to download this episode so you can hear your parenting advice for surviving your empty nest. And then please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes, and thank you to our affiliates, the Pelvic Floor Store, which you two should check out. Could be fun.
Okay.
And
Sounds good to me.
underoutfit.com. So until next week, where we continue to support women's health and care and love and all the things.
And empower one another, because I usually say support. That's what happens when
you know
you're
what?
drinking margaritas.
Cheers.
We're supporting your cause.
Cheers.